Okay, traders, today we talk about some curve finance in your hands now. Why is this one not catching up to Sushi Swap and Uniswap levels? Why the heck is it not already at the ICO, IEO kind of pump regions? Why is it not there? Well, it's simply because there is not much incentivization in the Curve Finance ecosystem, the platform itself, for the holders and for the people who are locking up their Ethereum on Curve Finance. It's just a little fundamental issue, I guess. So the point being that the constant liquidity inflow in the DeFi space as a whole is leading a lot of things into upside, like Sushi and Uni. So Curve Finance, I think certainly it could have its way to the upside. At least go and test those ICO pump regions, which is going to be around 7.65. Now there is one interesting factor about Curve Finance on DeFi Pulse. I'm sure you guys must have come across this website. It's pretty helpful. Now this okay, this is the pretty clear one of the clear indicators as to how and when and why your funds are kind of safe in any DeFi coin. Well, preferably the top DeFi coins. It's because the total locked value keeps on going to the upside. Now this is the trend indicator. This is one of the trend indicators in context to the previous video as well I made in terms of DeFi trend indicators. So now total locked value keeps on going up. So not much incentivization for any of these finance, Curve, Sushi, and all those ones to go down. So as you can see, Curve Finance is quite above Sushi and above Uniswap as well. So yep, there's a little fundamental glitch kind of thing going on in the platform itself, which is not incentivizing holders to like provide more liquidity or something like that, or maybe the supply of CRV tokens is way more than Uni or Sushi maybe. So those are some of the factors which can be telling of the fact that we are not yet at these levels, whereas Sushi and Uni already is over there, right? So simply starting off of my technical analysis right here, basing my technical journey for this one in terms of the fundamentals coming off from the DeFi Pulse, is that you can simply start managing your risks around $2. So if you lose 2.06 to the downside on 3-day, daily, well, even 12-hour schedule, then you can start getting out of Curve. You can start taking exit out of Curve. You can basically have this area as a stop loss. So let's just simply try to demarcate this entire zone, in fact, because well, it can be plus or minus anything, but the first red flag would be any wick below this region right here, and you can simply be long on Curve. Like you can this is a trend under motion. Everything is perfectly fine. We've left the accumulation range. Now this one being a pretty nice accumulation range, and you see how these entire small little candles were dwarfed by one single candle to the upside. Now do expect this trend to continue if we are going to be holding the $2 levels to the upside. So Curve Finance looking good above 2, below 2. Red flag, red bells, red dildos. Anyways, just looking at this one right here and comparing the price action behavior from these zones, you like to swirl and curve around the 21 simple moving average on the daily time frame, and you kind of get accumulated below the 21 simple moving average. Now this one being an overreaction to the downside all the way at $2.1. Now this is why I take this point as a risk. Like me personally, had I been in this trade, had I been longing Curve against US dollars, I would have been managing my risk around the $2 levels. So this would this is not a financial advice, guys. I mean, I'm just repeating for the sake of formality, but this is not a financial advice. You lose your money, you lose your money. You gain your money, you gain your money. You make profits, you party. None of it goes to my pockets. So well, if you lose money, don't come back to me. All right. So you manage your risk around 2 dot something to the downside, but for the timing, this one looks okay. This one wants to hold these regions and wants to reaccumulate across the 21 simple on the daily time frame. Now most of the action is happening on the time frames that are below 12-hour time frame. So this one being one of the grind. Okay, I think this is going to be visible in the small time frames like 4-hour. All right. I could see another grind under formulation, or have we broken out of it? No, quite really, not quite really. We have not. So first and foremost, on the 4-hour schedule, we got to gain this zone right here at 2.9. Let's just simply round it off to $3. You want to be gaining $3 to the upside on a 4-hour closing schedule. If you start closing your candles above the $3 regions, then you are simply in for a treat all the way at 3.5. So now this one being a good possible trade for the week. In fact, I mean, this can happen this week because this looks to me like an overreaction, and most of the overreaction in extremely bullish macro environments they are like major buying opportunities. I mean, why to be fearful when most of the things are trending to the upside? Most of the charts are telling of the fact that the trend are strong. So there's no reason to be fearful, but you can pick something up in such catastrophic capitulation events in the intraday time frames. Now this one being a 43% down now, curve being volatile more than atom, more than sushi, probably the most volatile major DeFi coin. I guess. Well, that's why it's pretty scary to trade this one. And as your risk management as well. Now this point is a 27%, 27% to the downside. So if you get rejected from these levels, you come back here all the way, and if you lose this one, your trade, you're out of the trade. So just try to understand, you got to risk the amount of capital which you're just okay to be losing out on a 27% basis. So just play around with that capital for this dear DeFi coin right here. CurveFinance. Why the heck am I kind of rhyming around? All right, the 2 hour time frame is fine, is looking okay. It seems to me like you were kind of sticking to it as a resistance. Now ever since you broke to the upside, you have been like curling to the upside right here, and this means that the small time frames have started picking something up on these regions on CurveFinance as Bitcoin kind of trends and Bitcoin kind of maintains the 50k guys. 50k, congratulations if you're coming from bear market. Congratulations, that calls for a champagne, maybe I don't know, some blue label, I don't know, most of the expensive. Leave the comments down below. What is the most expensive alcohol? I'm gonna check it out, and let's see if I can go for it or not. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But let me know what is the most expensive alcohol that you know. All right, would be fun. Okay, so 2 hour time frame. These small time frames have actually started indicating that this could be a potential reaccumulation area, coming in like a triangle, coming in like a squeeze. The upside squeeze being this one, and the downside squeeze being this one. So you are supposed to be looking at these levels very carefully. Now, if we lose this one, if we lose $2.5 again being a psychological point of support, if you lose $2.5, so you come back here at $2, right? There is not much liquidity here to support this one if we break down right here. So it is pretty simple that on intraday schedule, on extreme small time frames, you are zoning out between 3 to 2.5 USD. Now most of the resolutions on CurveFinance on the extreme small time frames will come out of breaking out or breaking below this particular range right here. This range being a pretty wide one, being a 20% range, but still being a range, right? So you treat a range like a range. All right, you don't try to have a moon boy sentiment when the price action is kind of ranging in the small time frame. So let this one resolve on at least the 2-hour schedule, or maybe the 4-hour schedule as well. Let this one resolve to the upside or to the downside. If it gets resolved to the upside, you're gonna be simply in for a little treat right here, all the way around these levels at 3.5, which is going to be a 20% move to the upside. Certainly good looking one. Well, I think this is what the short-term time frames are telling of. I mean, the 12-hour time, I did not open the 200 simple moving average. In fact, let's just check it out on the 4-hour time frame and where it stands at. The two, yep, okay, you can kind of argue that this one was a good area of opportunity right here around 2.25. This one being a confluent zone with the 200 simple on the 4-hour time frame. So this one looking nice right here. Probably these dip buys are going to get rewarded on CurveFinance. This is more on the probabilistic side than simply losing out on $2 levels to the downside, because that's a difficult thing. So now remember, in the bear market, it was pretty difficult for these assets to actually climb up and maintain those levels. So the inverse happened in the bull market, right? So it's going to be very difficult for these assets to actually start coming down and simply break these levels without any incentivization. So this one looking pretty neat. This one being a good buying opportunity on Curve against USD, and well, we are currently range bound between these levels. Any breakage above or below this one is going to lead you to some further upside targets. All right, so let's just simply jump on to a little zoomed out version as to where CurveFinance can be headed. Now I'm going to switch on my logarithmic. This arithmetic scale is kind of maddening. Okay, how could we actually determine the possible upside on CurveFinance? Now it's a pretty difficult one to point out. In fact, I mean, let's just see if we have one contact point right here. Now we broke out with the bullish engulf, so you can argue that this one being 1.1 extension and this one being the bottom. for the first wave. Now we are in the third wave right now. I'm going to be making videos about Elliott waves. Just let me know if you're interested in Elliott waves trading, because markets do respond to, they do behave in Elliott waves. I mean, it's just a wonderful little tool. Let me know if you want me to talk about Elliott waves, because that's a little complicated. In fact, all right, just I'll just stop rambling and start defining these levels in a more precise and balanced way. So all right, so as you can see, most of these Fibonacci zones are kind of acting like good support resistance areas. So why the heck not, right? I mean, why can't this trend continue? Why can't Fibonacci numbers play as support resistance again? Like this one being a beautiful reaccumulation zone between this 2.618 and 3.414. Now this trade again, I mean, 618 to 2.618 was a simple one candle move to the upside in one single daily candle. Pretty interesting one this year. Also, if we do prove this area out to be a significant support right here, yeah, which is going to be again 2.75, 2.5. If we are going to be confirming the 4.236 as a good support right here, we are in for 7.618. 7.618 being around 4.689. Now 10.764 being at 6.5. Just rounded. Now 20.618 is quite far-fetched, and then we come here again at 40.618. Now obviously these things can happen. Well, it's not obvious that these things can happen. If Ethereum dumps down to below $1,000, then these things are not likely to happen. So just keep an eye on Ethereum as well if you want to be looking for some good gains across DeFi space as a whole. Ethereum should hold. Well, it's at $2,000, almost at $2,000. Congratulations for Ethereum holders as well. I mean, pretty nice times, pretty good times in the markets. The holders are being rewarded big time, guys. I mean, big freaking time. Talk about stock market returns, dude. Those people are oldies, man. I mean, it's gone. That time is gone. Stock market returns, like what, 100%? We do that every single day, every single hour as well. This is how crazy our world is, right? High five. Okay, 7.618. 10.764 if we are confirming this area as support. Basically, if you are not violating that previously discussed support area to the downside, we're in for $4.6 per CRV, and well, this one looks to me like you're getting accumulated under the 21 simple, and you have to maintain this one or this level right here as well. This one being a significant point at 2.75 all the way to 2.5. So in the small time frames also, this area is kind of signifying some kind of significant support, I would say, on these zones. So yep, you can look at these higher time frame targets as well. Okay, so now what is going to be determining the accelerated or decelerated move in CRV is the BTC pair. Okay, you could argue that this one was a retest of this accumulation kind of zone. This one actually being a pretty neat buyback, coming in at 452 satoshis right here. Let's just simply demarcate this zone with a good line here and just simply make a zone out of it right here. So this one, this area needs to hold. Okay, this area needs to hold. Now you are breaking down in head and shoulder fashion. Now most of the times head and shoulders, they do have a prolonged downside period in cryptocurrency land, and this one rejecting quite significantly and going quite significantly below the 21 simple moving average. CRV on BTC pair not looking real nice. So now this is one of the technical reasons why CRV is unable to catch up like SUSHI or UNI, because the BTC pair is just unable to kind of go, like unable to move. Like a lot of sell pressure coming in, a lot of people exchanging their CRV tokens for BTC, coming in at 1,000 satoshis. In fact, looks to me like a big area of resistance here. The way you got rejected like a little bitch right it's bad looking, ugly looking candle right here, formulation around 1,000 satoshis. So now watch for this level to be picked up right here on BTC pair. If you do hold this one up, this is pretty clean, right? I mean, what a clean support. Wow, you lose it, you lose most of the gains that you made in the previous month. You hold it, you are in for some further upside treat, it looks to me like. And well, it looks to me like the volume trend, just check this volume trend out, guys. I mean, this is a depleting trend, so we want to see an outlier for a continuation move. Now this entire sell off happening in pretty low volume. Now this candle having a little outlier, but this was more of a buy side coming in. You could argue that the CRV is going to be bottoming out on BTC pair. CRV bottoming out on BTC pair could certainly mean that you could have an accelerated move on the USDT pair to the upside as well. So keep an eye on the CRV, guys. I mean, I've been calling out on $40 Polkadot ever since Polka was at 15, guys. Were you following the channel? Guys, just hit subscribe, right? I mean, this is just free information, free money. None of it is a financial advice. All right, nothing is financial advice. Not going to be a financial advice ever, but guys, enjoy your gains, man. I mean, I've been talking about XMR as well. XMR, like, looking to long XMR around $130 now. XMR being at $270, $280, like majorly outperforming Litecoin as well, right? So look, most of the signals are here, guys, and if you manage your risk properly and carefully, you're gonna be paid well. You're gonna be like, these assets are gonna pay you well, man. They're just assets. Like, they're just, you got to be non-emotional being if you're trading this. Do not marry these bastards. All right, they're gonna be fucking you up hard if you marry them. You don't want that. Okay, you should hold this around 500 satoshis. You should not close your daily below this entire area, this entire level. Now we had an immense wick to the downside, so you can argue that you can also set your stop losses around these levels, but this one being quite significant. I mean, you're talking in satoshi value, so this small little wick right here is a 12% one. So if you're holding it, if you're holding CRV, this is a good point of entry. I mean, technically this is an opportunity right here, guys. This is a clear cut opportunity, but any opportunity will come with a risk. You cannot forget that. Any opportunity is gonna come with some inherent risk. There, look, guys, like, if there were ways to make money without any risk or without any investment of time or efforts or anything, everybody would have been rich, right? Everybody would have been fucking Warren Buffett, like, but nobody is. No, not even fucking close, right? So yep. So this is going to be a risk. If you see daily candles closing below this entire liquid zone right here, then you can talk about some trouble in the CurveFinance right here. But as far as we are below the 21 moving average and above this support, this is going to be a range bound situation for the CRV BTC pair. But if this area gets picked up as a support point, you could look at some accelerated move on CRV against US dollars as well. Now this resistance being 84% move to the upside, then you can talk about 7.618 as well, which is going to be around 4.6 USD. So watch for CRV BTC also to have a hold on these levels, and then we can start talking about these areas of significance, which is crazy on the BTC pair as well. I mean, the top side resistance coming in at 722. What? 722%. Now again, a far-fetched thing, guys. I'm not making you moon boys here. I'm making you traders. So don't be like, my CRV is gonna go 800% tomorrow. No, it's not gonna happen like that. Got to be really patient. Got to be accumulating. Got to be dollar cost averaging, and got to be first and foremost, got to be paying a lot of attention, time, and managing your risk constantly. Then you're gonna be rewarded with that. All right. Then you're gonna be rewarded with that. And in the meantime, you will come across so many emotional roller coasters. Like, imagine somebody longing here and still wanted to hold the position after getting rejected like a bitch coming on from 1000 Satoshi level. You're still holding, right? Because you believe in the underlying technology and you believe that the BTC dominance keeps on shrinking down, DeFi space keeps on gaining, right? A lot of things are pointed towards the fact that you can simply start holding these DeFi coins in the midterm as well. They're going to be performing. Now, here's the thing. If Bitcoin truly goes into a skyrocketed maniac phase right now to directly to 100K, these altcoin BTC pairs are going to bleed crazy, man. Then you could look at CRV having a full retrace down at 174 Satoshis. Now that is going to be catastrophic. Only and only if BTC starts going into an extremely maniac phase. Now, on such events, you want to be simply staying on BTC. There's no point like staying in shit coins which are simply going to bleed against BTC, because your ultimate goal in crypto, guys, this is how I personally look at it as a trader in cryptocurrency market. You would want to measure your net worth in either BTC or Ethereum. All right, USD is out of the question, guys. We have already won against the USD. You just just check out USD BTC rather than BTC USD. You'll know what I'm talking about. USD BTC charts are like, it's going to zero, guys. It's simply going to zero, man. That's the truth. I mean, a lot of people talking about inverse bullshit back in the days, like Bitcoin is going to zero. Bitcoin, dude, your US dollar, your fiat is going to go to zero. That is what the charts are telling us. It's not. It's now the governments want to hide everything from the mainstream media and everything, and most of the common people right there. I mean, so it's their choice. It's their choice. Who am I to say anything? Who are you to say anything on that? But the charts are telling of the fact that it's going to go to zero, guys. US dollar is going to go to zero against Bitcoin. That's the truth. Even the INR, even most of the other dominant currencies in the world, CNY could hold up because Chinese, they always have something up their minds. I mean, they always have a plan, right? And well, guys, 60% of cryptocurrency mining comes from China, guys. You know which country is coming up as a world power now. Let's not get political. Let's not talk about these kind of bullshit. Wow, I drifted quite far off from CurveFinance to all the way to China, guys. Okay, CRV looking good. If this level holds, everything is going to be fine. Let's simply check out CRV against Ethereum if we have some different kind of price action. Now, Kraken has most of the Ethereum pairs. Pretty interesting. Binance staying away from Ethereum pairs on DeFi coins mostly. Very interesting, very strange as well at the same time. Now, CRV against Ethereum on daily looks to me like a distribution right here. Can I? Okay, if I simply invert the chart right here, yeah. I mean, this kind of price action, I'm sure you must have come across this simple curl to the upside while rejecting the any prices to the downside here. So you could simply start coming on here, and well, in fact, this one being a broadening wedge coming at the top. You could have some partial decline kind of price action as well. Now I'll talk about partial declines and all of those on patterns. Let me know if you're interested in patterns analysis, because some of the patterns are good. Not everything is going to be a pattern most of the time, and how to identify these patterns is the key thing. Well, CRV against Ethereum could simply come and retest these points around here. Now if you reject this one right here now, then it's going to simply start bleeding against Ethereum. So that would mean it would be better holding Ethereum, right? And if Ethereum keeps on bleeding against Bitcoin, it's simply the best to hold BTC, right? So now this is going to be this is pretty much being a maximalist, a BTC maximalist video, looking at CRV tokens charts right here. But CRV on the USD pair certainly looking good, and if you are looking to hold this one long term, you can start managing your risk around 2. Just to summarize this video up, you can start managing risk here for a further upside move all the way at 4.7 and 6.4. So now that's going to be your upside target for CRV if we keep on trending and if we get accumulated right here and we get picked up from these levels and hold this point as support 4.236. So draw these Fibonacci zones up your charts if you're ever feeling confused, and shift your time frames to even the higher ones like the 3 daily. You'll be relaxed, right? Keep it simple, keep it pretty simple. Most of the charting that I'm doing for you guys is simple naked charting. I don't have a bunch of indicators like 1,000. Look, you should not expect that you're going to be putting out 1,000 indicators up your chart and magically you'll be able to determine where the support and resistance is at. Nope, it's not work like that. I've been down that road. There was a time when there was just simple madness, diagonal horizontal lines up my charts all over the fucking place, but that does not work. That's just like TMI. That's too much information. You want to stay away from too much information. Charts, they're going to tell you simple psychology. They're going to tell you simple points of reversal and supports, basically naked price action, mostly Fibonacci on top of that with a couple of moving averages, sometimes momentum oscillators as well. Wow, momentum, I forgot to check this one out as we are kind of losing this one here, so you gotta be keeping an eye on this one. If we start opening and closing 3-day candles with the stochastic something like this, like rejecting the 80 to the downside, then you can talk about long form of consolidation on CRV. We could still hold the $2 level, but we can consolidate for a little longer than expected on CRV against US dollar. And as far as the 60 is also holding on the 3-day time frame, now this one could be taken as a hidden bullish divergence coming off of this point right here and this point right here. So this could be picked up. This could simply picked up, and we can simply go to the upside. Now stochastic and relative strength index, they both are kind of going against each other right now, so the situation being a little unsettling. So what happens when you have unsettling indications in the market? market takes time to resolve itself. Okay, so it's going to probably take some time. Now watch for this range closer to the upside on a macro schedule, which is going to be 3.5. If we close 3 days above it, then yep, your stochastic can simply start shaping to the upside, and your RSI could constantly trend above the 60 marker. So now these are the important things to be looked at on CurveFinance, guys. This has been it. This has been a pretty long comprehensive outlook on CRV Finance Curve tokens, and let me know down in the comments if you hold Curve tokens. Let me know what your outlook is for Curve tokens. Do you want to hold it long term? Do you want to trade it short term? If I see a lot of people wanting to trade this one short term, I'm going to be making intraday intraday trading kind of videos for you guys. And well, I'm going to be catching you guys pretty soon on the next one. Bye for now.